Dud and Dan. I'm Dan.
And I'm Dudley.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. It's so hot outside.
It is warm.
It's so
I haven't been
hot.
out there much today, so I feel fine.
So hot.
And this peanut butter shake I'm having right now is
It's
doing
helping.
its
Well,
good
in order
wonders.
to procure that peanut butter shake, I had to sit in line at a Sonic drive-thru, and it was very hot.
Yes.
I got very sweaty.
Your sacrifice is
Appreciated?
appreciated, yes.
I am having a cranberry limeade, which I like. It's very,
Yeah.
It's very refreshing. It's very delicious.
Peanut butter shake is probably my favorite thing in the world.
In the world? In the whole world.
The whole world.
Dudley, you have a child.
You know. Okay, let me rephrase that. My favorite drink in the world.
Okay, there you go.
It's
Favorite
so
drink,
good.
period.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
They're so good. I like milkshakes and I like peanut butter.
Yeah.
And they're wonderful together.
Yeah. I mean, I do enjoy peanut butter. I go on back and forth on milkshakes. Some days I want one, some days I'm like, I'd rather have a tea.
Mm-hmm.
Or that's what I was out to get. I was out to get a black tea from Starbucks.
Uh-huh.
But
You were denied.
they were closed.
Mm-hmm.
I got there at like 4:10, 4:15, and they closed at 4.
Yeah.
So, disappointment, sadness.
Mm-hmm.
These are the things that I felt.
Mm-hmm.
First
First world problems.
problems. You want to talk about some games?
Mm-hmm.
I played a few things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you?
Did you just get a mouthful of peanut butter?
Yes.
Uh-huh. You have some right here.
Yeah.
There you go.
Your fault for getting it for me before the show.
Oh, okay. I played a couple of things. I played, the game Carrion?
No,
I think I told you about it on this show.
I don't think
On
so.
this show,
I've
Dudley.
never heard of it before.
Yes, you have, because I told you about it on this show.
That doesn't mean anything. I
I
don't remember anything on this show.
They call it it's a self-proclaimed reverse horror game. You play this massive or monster of like tentacly
Uh-huh.
organic.
I think having a
viscera
shake
monster.
before the show was a bad idea.
Yeah. Is it hurting you?
No, it's just messing my throat up a little
Yeah.
bit so my voice sounds funny.
Well, anyway, you play a monster, and
Yeah.
you got tentacles that pull yourself through, and as you take damage, if you lose parts of yourself, you have to eat people to
Okay,
gain it. And
yeah.
it's a side-scrolling platformer,
Okay.
and it's coming out in a couple of weeks, and they have a sneak peek out on Steam, so I played it. It's like a little demo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's pretty good. I
Yeah.
like it. It's a lot of fun because you're like, squeezing through vents and knocking things open and extending out your tentacles to grab people and pulling them to you and eating them. And they're running around screaming, and they're like, you're trying to avoid them because they'll start shooting at you, which hurts you, and you have
Yeah.
to eat more people to gain your mass back. To
Yeah.
pack on some mass.
Yeah.
It's really fun. I highly recommend it. It took me about, 20 minutes, 30 minutes maybe to get through the little preview.
The demo.
Yeah, a little demo. It's pretty good. I highly recommend
What's it called?
Carrion.
Carrion?
Yes.
How you spell that?
Carrion. Like Carrion. Like
Carry on.
Carrion.
Carrion. Okay.
You know what a carrion is?
No.
Okay. Like carrion birds and stuff, like vultures, buzzards.
If you say so.
Okay.
Never heard that term before.
Never?
Ever.
Not ever.
Not ever.
I find that hard to believe. Yeah, it's very good.
Pretty
I'm
sure you've never
excited.
told me about that game.
I
yeah.
have told you about this game. We talked
No.
about it on this show.
No
On this
recollection
show.
of that
We'll have
whatsoever.
to consult Ham, the keeper of records.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have talked about it on this show.
I
I know for a
I don't
fact
think
we
you-
talked
I
about
don't
it.
think so.
I know I told you about it.
I don't think you have.
I have.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good playing games that aren't out yet.
Yeah.
When does it come out?
I think in a couple weeks. I think it's not this week, but next week.
You talked about the game, but you don't know when it's coming out.
No, I was scrambling to grab those dates before we started. And you were like, "Are you not ready?" And I'm like,
yeah.
"I guess I'm ready now." And I forgot to grab. That was the one I couldn't remember. I forgot to check to see what the date was.
I prepped for an hour for this show. What
Good
are
for
you doing?
I played games.
Not before the show.
Well, I was getting drink.
Yeah, obviously. Priorities, huh?
Very important. I had to cool off.
I played some Rainbow Six
Yeah.
Siege with Rob and Ham.
Yes. Yeah. How was that?
It was good.
Yeah.
We were terrible.
As we usually are.
We had one good run. Then the rest of it, not so much.
It's good.
But I think we weren't doing the newcomers anymore. We were just playing the regular match, which is probably why we were doing terrible.
Yeah.
Because we weren't just playing newcomers; we were playing everybody.
Yeah.
Mostly because the wait time was shorter, so we wanted, we didn't want to.
You want to get going.
Yeah. So it was good. Got yelled at by some random people that joined our team.
What did they yell at you?
Just obscenities.
Were they angry about something specific, or they just wanted to yell at y'all?
It was a guy that was like yelling that because we weren't doing things the way he thought we should be.
Or, how any good person, anyone good at this game would be good at, should do.
Yeah. And well, the problem was he would be the first one to die every time, so I don't think he knew what he was talking about. He was just an angry man.
He's an angry
and
person.
every time he would say something, he just read in the chat, like, his anger, and I would just be like, good job, team. I was just, like, counteracting his negativity, just like, good job, team.
Y'all are doing great.
And we were losing terribly. I was like, good job, team.
That's funny.
And me, Ham, and Rob were just mocking him, really, even though he couldn't hear us. We were just mocking him in our Discord chat.
I think that's what we mostly do is either, like, mock, depending on who our, like, randos are, either mock them or praise them. I don't think there's ever a point where we don't mention them. We're always just like, man,
that guy's good.
Like, that guy's carrying this team. He's
Half
so
the time
good.
It's a 50-50 shot.
Yeah.
Usually we'll get someone really good, and they just, carry us all the way through, and we support him.
Or even if they are good, but they're just an asshole. We're just like, man, this guy sucks. I hope he leaves. We get someone new.
Yeah, and then either that or they're just like, angry at us for whatever reason.
Because,
we're
not good
we're
at the
amateurs and we don't care.
Yeah. We're completely content losing at Rainbow Six.
Yes, we're pretty happy with it because we do it a lot. So, and we keep coming back to it. So I guess that's something.
We've talked about it on the show before that game is fun even when you lose.
Yeah, and we weren't. I don't know. I wasn't really feeling Rainbow Six when we were talking about because I didn't have the baby Friday night, so I was able to play, and Jess was out of town, and but I really wasn't feeling Rainbow Six, but we couldn't decide anything else to play because there was only 3 of us, and I was like, we're gonna get stuck with 2 random people, and it's just gonna be, and then we end up just playing Rainbow Six, and it was fine. Yeah.
I played Minecraft Dungeon.
Yeah.
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 That was a mouthful of milkshake, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. You're not impressed? I'm still able to speak with a mouthful of milkshake.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, it feels kind of like my first Diablo.
Yeah.
It's kind of what it feels
it's like Diablo Light.
Yeah, at least so far, it's not very difficult. Like, a couple of the boss fights, I was like, oh, I gotta, like, step it up a little bit. But most of it, I'm just like, pop, 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 walking around hitting things. Though I've been starting to get new weapons that play a little differently, so I've been trying those out.
Yeah, because it's not really class-based. It's just whatever your
gear is. Whatever your equipment is. I'm wearing, like, a wizard robe, but I'm using, like a what do you call it? A halberd?
A halberd?
Not a halberd. It's like a halberd. You know how halberd's like
Halberd's
an axe on?
is a pole.
Yeah.
It's a long pole.
I'm using a pole arm.
Axe on
yeah, it's a pole arm, but it doesn't have an axe on it. It has like a more straight blade. I forget what those are called.
A spear?
It's not a spear. It's not a point. It's got an actual blade.
A trident.
No. You stop. There's a term for it, but it's basically like a halberd, except it's got like a short sword on the end of it instead of the axe. But yeah,
it's a spear.
It's not a spear. A spear is pointed on the end.
That's what a short sword is. It's a pointy thing.
No.
You said a short sword, so
it's more like a machete blade on the end of the pole, on the side of the pole.
That's a halberd.
It's not.
I think it's still called a halberd. I think it's still a halberd.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I used to know.
I'm not. I don't have a knowledge of medieval weaponry, Daniel.
But anyway, I have one of those.
Okay.
And I'm like, it's got some reach. And then I have a crossbow that shoots.
Polearm?
Yeah, it's a polearm.
Is that what they call?
Well, that's a class it's in. It's a polearm because a halberd is a polearm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So let's just keep it simple.
A spear would probably be a polearm.
Mm-hmm.
But it's in that family. I just don't know what the actual technical term for it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a lance. That's the big pointy thing. I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know.
No one knows.
Yeah.
Knowledge is lost forever.
I don't know.
We don't pride ourselves in knowing things on this show.
No. I'm gonna look it up.
You're gonna spend a bunch of time looking at. Okay, well while you're doing that, I'm gonna talk about the game I played. And I was playing all the way up until we started recording this show. The Last of Us Part 2. Mm-hmm. Going well. I think I'm getting close to the end. It's really good.
Yeah.
There's some really intense moments, and for anyone else who's playing it, you'll be aware of something called the Rat King. And okay, if you don't want to know anything about this, just skip ahead a little bit because I'm going to talk about the game because there's stuff I want to talk about. The game's really good, and skip ahead if you don't want spoilers. So you play two people in this game.
Mm-hmm.
You start out playing Ellie, and then you switch to Abby, who's kind of the bad guy for Ellie. And there's a point where you flip sides, and you go back and you spend the previous days seeing her side of the story. But there's a part where you get to one of the earliest infected zombies that's been trapped in this one area since the zombie apocalypse happened. And the way the infected, when they're trapped in an area, these spores come out and they just get more intense basically, and this stuff starts growing around them. Well, there were 3 or 4 of them compacted in one area, and they become one. So you're fighting this monstrous thing that kind of reminds me of the thing from The Thing.
Oh yeah.
And it's 3 or 4 different zombies crammed together into one.
Oh, weird.
And then it's a tough fight.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing about it is they get motion capture for this game.
Yeah.
They actually motion captured this monster.
Yeah, with 4 people stacked
with
together.
4 people. One of them is carrying a 4th person. And it's because it's one big thing walking, and it's got 2 other things hashed to the side and one on top. So there's literally, you can go find it, a screenshot online of the people motion capturing this creature, and I was like, that's impressive. I don't think I would have done that if I was in game development. It sounds hard, but they did it. They also motion captured a horse, which is pretty cool. Because there are horses in the game, so they motion capture what a horse does.
Okay.
And it's a good game. It's a really good game. I think I'm getting close to the end. I think so, just because of the structure of where I'm at. But it's good. It's really good. And the Rat King is, when you're fighting it, one of them parts breaks off at one point and scurries away, and so you're like.
Well, you know what a Rat King is.
Yeah, it's a rat. And all the tails, a whole bunch of rats that crammed in one space, and their tails grow together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so here's the terms.
Okay. What's it called? It's
either a Bardiche, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, Bardiche.
That's wrong, that's for sure.
Or a Voulges.
I don't think either of those terms are right.
Voulge.
I don't think those are
one of those, because those are what they look like.
I don't think you're on Wikipedia. Or someone I edited. That sounds wrong.
I mean,
nothing about what you just said.
There's multiple pictures that have these things on it, and they have the same names.
Are there weird ads or on the side?
No.
Suggestive ads. Are you sure you're on the right page? I don't think what you're talking about is what you think it is.
Yes.
Okay. Back to The Last of Us Part 2. I want to talk about one thing real quick, and that's I guess it'd be toxic fandom, and there's a lot of it coming out about from the people following Last of Us Part 2. I don't know if you've heard about this.
No.
So
I mean, I can imagine it, but I don't.
There's a lot of this game that deals with there are characters that are lesbian, there are characters that are transgendered, and there's all these different things that play out in the story, and and then also, we talked about Abby is jacked.
Yeah, she's jacked.
It's just beef.
Yeah.
She's got some arms on her.
Yeah, I thought when you were playing her, I'm like, oh man, she's got some guns.
Because, I mean, it's part of the story, too. Yeah. It's like she spends all her time training. Yeah. So she's jacked.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, there's a lot of stupid people who don't like any of those elements.
Don't play the game, then.
Yeah, exactly.
Go hide in your bubble and be an angry white dude.
There's a ton of, people on Twitter and stuff harassing the developers and particularly the actress who voices Abby, and which is so stupid.
It's just stupid.
I was like, you don't like Robert De Niro in a movie? Let's go bash him on Twitter? What does that even make sense? It's the same thing. Yeah. It's an actress.
Well, no, you forget. Robert De Niro is a male. He's a dude. And
there you go, it is.
So,
not a muscled woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then that offends some people for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
It threatens their masculinity, Dudley.
My masculinity is based in a fictitious game.
Yeah, and they're really tiny penises.
Apparently.
Little bitty balls.
They need to grow up.
They really
That's
do.
just literally my response to people like that. Grow up.
Grow up.
And it's fandom like that just really makes me go,
yeah.
Makes me feel very depressed by humanities in general. And then so many people, it's just like, this happens a lot with a lot of different fandoms. It's like, oh, this story or this, show, game, whatever, this arc didn't go where I think it should go. It didn't revolve around my worldview of things, so I now hate it and everything it stands for. I'm like,
they should make the version I want to see.
Yeah.
Like, shut up.
Why?
Yeah.
If it's just
yeah,
stupid. It's just stupid. Yeah. And
no one's saying you have to like something that you were a fan of that they produced more.
You can like the first game and
still
not like the second game.
But
nothing
the
is
whole
ruined.
idea that you're owed something that fits in your view is stupid.
Well, it's also this weird mentality like, you have ruined my enjoyment of the first game because of where you went with it in the second game. It's like, no, you still enjoyed it. You still played it.
Yeah.
They didn't take that away from you.
No.
You still have that in your head. Just go, I like this, I didn't like where they went, be done with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, if you're mad about the portrayal of different characters in this game, you have very little experience in the world.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot more of that than you realize.
Oh, yeah, there's all kinds of people out there. Just because you don't ever experience being around them.
It's the same thing, with racism and all that other stuff. Just because you don't experience it doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Exactly.
So,
go
outside.
Yeah.
Well, don't go outside right now. It's bad time.
But, interact with other people and other cultures. It's good for you. It's healthy.
Explore.
Yeah.
Read a book.
Yeah. Seriously.
Do something else read something with someone else that's not like you.
Yeah.
That's my argument. And, because, you're boring.
So I want to talk about playing a game where I played a white dude.
Oh, well, okay. How topical.
Yeah. Actually, it's Hitman 2.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was on, I don't know if it still is, but it was free on Steam.
I have it free for, I got it free on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, I got it on a free copy on Steam. For some reason, they had it for free.
Mm-hmm.
And I played the first mission.
Yeah. How is it?
It's all right. It's like, the first part, you're just like breaking into his house.
Mm-hmm.
And then, some people show back up, and then you're like, they decide you need to take out one of them. And I quickly, I was sneaking around the house, and there's that whole game is set up. You're in a scenario, in an area, and there's objects around you can use to go through different stuff. And then there's different ways to kill people if you want to. And well, I found some rat poisoning. I was like, okay, that's interesting. And then I walked by, and as I was going to the kitchen, I could poison the sugar or the honey. And I'm like, interesting. And then, once the people came back, I didn't mess with it because I'm like, I'm not here to kill anyone. I'm just here to gather information. Well, they show up, and it's like, you need to kill this person. Okay. And one of the first things she says was, hey, will you make me some tea? And the guy's like, you want sugar or honey? And I'm like, oh, I should have. I ended up screwing up, so I was like, I restarted the mission. Because that game always feels like, you're going to keep playing the mission until you get it the way you want it. Right? You just like, I figure out the best way, the way I want to do it, and I'm going to figure it out. So I've gone back, and I've restarted it, and I've poisoned both the sugar and the honey because I couldn't 100% sure which one she said, but I bet you it changes. It's not always the same. It wouldn't be surprised to me. Sometimes she says honey, sometimes she says sugar. So I poisoned both with rat poisoning. And now I'm at the point where it's like, okay, I got them both poisoned. I got everything ready. I killed the cameras. I'm going to try to figure out how to get out of the house, And then I'm like, okay, I'm ready to initiate the second part of the mission where they show up, and I'm going to see if she just has some teas and then falls over dead, and I just walk out of there like nothing happened. So we'll see. But
what's going to happen is you poison 2 people because someone else wants the opposite of what she had.
Yeah.
So 2 people die.
Yeah.
Does that bother you morally?
No. I mean, I'm playing a hitman whose whole job is to kill people. Though when I messed up, I had to I was fighting people and trying to shoot what happened was I poisoned the tea, and I was gonna just sneak out while she was getting the tea made. I was like, okay, she's gonna drop down dead any second now. I'm just gonna make my way out of the house. Yeah. So I'm walking out, and I walk out the back door, which I had unlocked earlier, prepared to go out that way, and I walk out and walked right into a guard, and I'm like, shit, so I tranked him, and another guy came around the corner right then, he sees the body, so I trank him, so now I'm dragging 2 bodies into the bushes, and people are like, oh, something's happening, and then I only had 2 trank shots, so I'm like, well, crap, so I ended up just shooting this other guy, and it's non-target kill, and I'm like, oh, crap, I didn't want to do any of this, I just wanted to kill the one person.
So what you're saying is you're a terrible hitman.
I am terrible, I'm not good at it, but
I
am a
terrible hitman too.
Yes. I am a terrible hitman too. But I'm liking it. I'm gonna play some more, check out some more of the missions and stuff, and
Yeah, I think it was Hitman 2. I got one of the Hitman games on
it's Hitman
PlayStation.
2. Yeah, it was out on PlayStation Plus as well.
Yeah, and I got it and a bunch of the it came with a bunch of DLCs, and I haven't actually installed it or played it yet. But it's one of those maybe one day, and then I'm never gonna play it. It's like all the games
and I saw it, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna check this out.
It's like all the games I get for free on the Epic Store.
Yeah,
I'll play this one day.
Yeah. Yeah, this week I got The Escapist 2, and Killing Floor 2's on there.
Yeah, I got
which
that.
I didn't get it because it didn't seem like anything I was. And then I forget what the other game was.
I think Tristan, our friend
Lifeless
Tristan, plays
Planet.
it, but yeah. There was 3 games this week.
Because something happened with The Escapist 2, and they didn't release it when they were supposed to. A couple of weeks ago, it was supposed to go out.
Oh, really?
And then it didn't. When it came time, it didn't go up. And they said something. They didn't get specified, I don't think, but something weird happened on the back end. They had problems with it, so they put it off for a little while. Yeah, so that's why we have 3 this week.
Okay, I almost suggested because we were trying to find something to play last Friday, and then Graham was like, "What is The Escapist 2?" And he'd never heard of it. And I was like, well, it's I told him it's a prison game. It's a really hard prison break game. But the new one has multiplayer. So I was like, maybe we should give that a try.
Be fun.
Yeah, it could
all
be
of us in
the same prison trying to get
break out together. But be like Alcatraz.
It could be. Yeah.
I
just know that game's hard, or at least the first one was.
It was pretty difficult. You have to really figure it out and plan how you're going to break out.
I just can't imagine how it would work with multiple players because the whole thing is
one person can cause a distraction, and you can do stuff. You can do
but the timing of it is because it takes days, in-game days, to really enact the plan. And I'm curious how well.
I think it just speeds things up because each person can focus on getting certain.
Make a plan, and then.
Because you also have to exercise and do stuff to build up your stamina and stuff in that game.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is it's a good game, but it's also tedious.
A little bit, yeah.
But that's prison, I guess. You're doing the same thing over and over every day. Did you play anything else?
No. No, but I have stuff coming out this week that I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
I wrote things under my news section.
Uh-huh. Well, that's good, because I know what one of them is. I can see it.
No, don't look at it.
And it's on my list, too.
Yeah.
So, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, let's talk about that. Superhot.
Mm-hmm.
They have a sequel, DLC, whatever you want to call it.
It's a sequel.
Yeah.
It's a sequel, but it was a DLC that got too big.
Yeah.
So
it's called Superhot Mind Control Delete, and it's apparently like 4 times bigger than the original game.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes out Thursday.
Yeah.
And if you own the first one already, you get it. You get a copy of it.
Unless you got it for free through like Epic Store or something like that.
Yeah.
Or one of those free.
Yeah, I bought the first one on because I own it on. I own that one and the VR version of it. So
yeah, the VR one's good.
Yeah.
I played both of them, and I'll play your copy when you get it on the new one.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it comes out the July 16th.
Yeah. So Thursday.
And it's free if you already own the original game. So
I said all of that.
Which is cool.
I said all of that.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good job.
Also,
you did news.
Also this week, another game I'm excited about.
Mm-hmm.
Paper Mario, the Origami King.
Oh, is that out this week?
It's out Friday.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I may have to get that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was... Oh, yeah, I'm going to get that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was coming out so soon.
Yeah, it's soon.
That's not even on my list.
Yeah.
I missed that. That's great.
See? I brought something to the table, Dudley.
For once.
Yeah.
In your life.
Yeah.
Speaking of table, I did this table that we're
Yeah, it's a little
at.
sticky.
A little bit. I didn't do a good job. We got a free table, and then I stained it, and then it
on purpose. He purposely did a varnish on it.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it.
It's not quite.
I don't know what I did wrong, honestly.
I think it needs. Well, the humidity here makes it a problem.
Yeah,
makes it difficult.
I know.
But I think it wasn't quite right. I don't know. Trey would be the one to ask.
Yeah,
he knows about these things. It might need another coat.
Probably also because it's not real wood. It's got this little top layer with the grains. It's only that.
Well,
thick.
it is wood. It's just not like a solid wood piece. It's like
of wood.
Particle board.
So I don't know. I don't know. I probably just didn't do something right. I'm sure.
Probably not.
Anyway. Onward to other news. So Ubisoft announced a bunch of stuff this week.
Oh, did they?
And they also had some controversy within their ranks. The CEO of the company stepped down because of sexual misconduct.
Yeah.
Yeah, some allegations involving him choking a woman at a party.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, something like that. And yeah, so they removed him.
Probably for the best.
Probably. But
yeah, it doesn't make for a good working environment.
No, apparently it's something that stuff like this has been going on for a while, and people are finally speaking up about it.
Yeah,
which they should.
They should. Definitely.
If you're in a situation like that, you should speak up immediately.
Yeah.
Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. But in the good news side of Ubisoft, they've announced a bunch of games and release dates and showed some footage of new games. They showed off some stuff for Watchdog Legion, which is kind of intriguing.
Yeah, the concept I remember hearing about sounded interesting.
Yeah, so the whole thing is you don't play one character. You can play any character that you recruit to your organization.
Yeah, so it's kind of like an anonymous thing.
Yeah, there's anyone you see in the game, apparently you can recruit them, and everyone has their own skills and stuff. It sounds really ambitious.
Yeah.
And interesting. I just worry that it's going to be repetitive. Like you think, oh, I got 100 of these people, and 10 of them are the same person. They just have a slightly different skin or whatever.
Yeah, that's the only thing is I worry that something like that could easily turn into just a gimmick.
Yeah,
and it's well, I mean that's cool, but is the game being served by it, or is it just all the game?
And the whole setup of the game is the whole the game is kind of like Hitman, where it's like you have missions, and then you pick a guy to go in and do it, and then depending on all your people you recruited, and depending on who you pick, what their abilities are, they can how they approach doing whatever it is they're going to do. So it's kind of along that line where you like have different ways you can do things, which could be pretty interesting, dynamic. I think if it's executed right.
Yeah.
They also finally showed some game footage for Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Oh yeah.
It looks good.
Yeah.
It's the first time I'm actually intrigued by
I found you said something the other day that you have never played any of the Assassin's Creed.
I played the first one.
Did you finish the first one?
No.
That's it? That's all you've ever played?
I've only ever played the first one a little bit, and it was tedious, so I stopped playing it.
They get better.
Repetitive, I mean. Yeah. But yeah, and I understand they do. I just didn't care.
Yeah, I played the first one, the second one, maybe like the little spin-off of the second one, because they did like little like sequels to the like second and third ones, and then I played the third one, and then that was probably about it. I kind of skipped every other one for a while.
Yeah. Well, the last one was Odyssey. That's the Greek mythology
I haven't played
one. Or not mythology, but Greek one.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of understand the story of the. Did they just kind of abandon the future world of that game?
No,
it's still part of it, but
I think it's still part of it. I think there was a point in one of them where you finished playing the guy you started the game with, the first one. I think I'm not sure. It's been so long since I played it. I don't really remember.
Yeah, because
I was playing 3. I was
you're
still
playing
dealing
through
with
the genetics or whatever.
Yeah, you're through the Animus system and you're going back to play
your ancestors
or
whatever
of your ancestors, and which is cool. But I think after a point you stop. I don't know. Because I didn't play.
I know the new one has the Animus stuff in it.
Yeah,
but the guy.
I don't know if it's the same.
I was reading an article. The guy played the demo for it, and he was like, I don't really understand how it's, other than they stuck Assassin's Creed in the title, how it really ties into the game. Yeah. Other than it, you can switch between the main character you can switch genders. Like at any point in the game, you can just switch to the other one.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like a reset in the Animus or whatever, and you just like, boop, you can toggle and switch to the other one, and the animation changes, and the voice actor changes, and all that. Just like that. And I'm just like, it sounds like you're just using it as a structure to be like, yep, we're doing, Vikings now.
Yeah.
There's no one cares about the future story.
Yeah.
I'm just curious what that is going to be, other than
I don't know. All that stuff got convoluted after a point anyway.
Yeah,
I would be playing it, and I still was like, I haven't played a bunch of them. I was like, I really only kind of half understand what you are doing.
Yeah. It seems they've really kind of toned down the Assassin's Creed part of the Assassin's Creed games, and it's like, yep, we're doing cool Viking things now. It is bringing back some stuff from the old games, like the hiding in a crowd thing, where you can walk it and you have a hood and you can do that in this one. And then it looks interesting. Yeah. There's like a whole settlement building thing where you're building up your settlement based on the resources you've gathered. And it's kind of interesting. I don't know if I'll get it or not, but I'm gonna keep an eye on it.
I need to check it out. And I'll decide.
They've also officially announced Far Cry 6.
I saw something about a leak.
Yeah, it leaked, and then they officially announced it with a trailer, which it doesn't show any gameplay, but it shows. I looked up how to say his name, and now I can't. Gias.
You want me to try?
Yes, Gus Fring from.
Let me see.
Giallo.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah, Giallo.
I never can remember how to pronounce that.
Well, anyway,
it's Gus Fring.
Gus Fring from Breaking Bad.
He's in Better Call Saul.
Yeah, he's the dictator character.
I saw the image, and as soon as I saw it, like, oh, I know that guy.
Yeah. He's in. If you're familiar with his work, he's right in there with his normal archetype.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. I don't know what it seems like there's like anarchy going on in his country, and he's like trying to keep control or something. I don't know. I don't know what the actual gameplay will be, but it looks good.
Okay.
I need to play the other ones. I have Far Cry 5, which is the cult one, I think. And I hear it's good, but I haven't played it any.
Yeah, that one intrigued me because, I thought it was interesting to be
the
playing
concept.
with a cult.
Yeah, so Far Cry 6 will come out February 18th next year. And I'm sure they'll release more information about it before we get to it.
Yeah.
Let's see. So there's this kind of quasi-documentary. There's this quasi-documentary about Half-Life Alyx.
Yeah.
Called
I saw that.
There's a guy, he does it for multiple games. He does a documentary style thing where he talks about development of a game. Yeah. And it's called a Final Hour. Final Hours. So they have one for Half-Life Alyx.
Yeah,
it's on Steam.
I looked at it a little, like some of the materials and read a little bit about it, and I'm like, oh, that sounds really interesting, but I didn't want to pay $10 to watch it. Well, it's like an interactive thing.
It's an interactive documentary? Yeah. I don't really know, but there's like puzzles and stuff involved in it. Yeah. When you read and watch it. Yeah. So I don't know. It's kind of a game thing. But apparently pretty interesting, and there's a lot of tidbits of information in there about development of a Half-Life and how they
several other attempts at making a sequel to Half-Life that they just canceled.
I've read about 3 of them. One of them involves the story that guy released online about the Borealis. Yeah. And, but it never went anywhere. But yeah, they were just chipping away, and then
they were trying for a while. And that's one thing about Valve that's kind of nice, is that if something's not working, they're not afraid to just cancel it.
Yeah, they'll drop it.
They'll drop it. I mean, and try something else.
Yeah, they even talked about they were developing the code name for it was Shooter, and it was a VR shooting game that was just like an onslaught of Combine and stuff coming at you.
It was part of labs. The VR labs, which I thought was interesting, because watching it, I was like, I can't believe they didn't do some kind of Half-Life, something or other demo in this. But apparently
they were afraid the fans would be mad because they made that instead of
tip off that they're making something else with it or something. Their expectations would be higher than what they were delivering.
Yeah. So go check that out. It's $10, or you can read some articles online that gets some of the interesting bits out of it. Yeah. So a new game, well, no, not a new game, an old game is coming out on Nintendo Online that might be of interest.
I saw this, and now I can't remember what it is.
Donkey Kong Country.
Oh, yeah.
Donkey Kong Country is coming to Nintendo Switch Online.
Yeah,
let's see, I have the date. July 15th, so this week.
Yeah, so that's...
so if you pay for...
Wednesday, I think?
Yeah. If you pay for the subscription for Nintendo Online...
You can play it.
You can play that.
That's exciting. I need to go check that out.
It's a classic.
Yeah, it is a classic.
Good game. Also coming out soon, Halo 3 is coming to PC.
Okay.
July 23rd.
Part of that Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, part of that Master Chief Collection remastered. They're porting them all to PC, and now that one's finally coming out. If you're buying, I'll probably get that set at some point, because I know Ham plays it for multiplayer and stuff, and
so it would be fun.
I wouldn't mind. A
little nostalgia.
I played through the first. I've played the first 3, and Reach is the only one. No, I did play 4 a little bit.
Wasn't there one called? What was it called? It had some letters. It wasn't Reach.
Some letters.
Yeah,
like a name, a
OTFC or something like that.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I remember playing that one in Reach.
Yeah.
I don't know if I played through all the single player on all of them, but I played quite a bit. I don't know if I played it 4 or not.
Yeah, I played 4 a little bit, but I kind of lost interest in the middle of it and then stopped playing it. I think that was the last one I played. Of course, there's a new one coming out for the new next-gen console.
Yeah.
Someone modded assault rifles into Dark Souls.
What?
Someone, a modder, replaced all the ranged weapons in the game with assault rifles. So there's like an AK-47 and an MP5. And, I'm curious how that changes the game, though.
Is it just reskin bows?
No, I think
or
it's
is it
actually,
like,
they will
fire rapid fire? Oh, wow. Okay. You can go take out the dragon with an AR-15.
I don't think there was an AR-15. There was an AK-47, and there was a MP5, and then I think maybe an SMG or something. I don't know. But
MP5 is an SMG.
Well, anyway, I don't know guns. I just saw the pictures. Guy in full armor holding an AK. I was like, "Yep, that's something." Someone was bored.
Yeah.
I'm curious if it's like just the bows, or it just does like the same damage to bow, or does it does more damage?
I don't know. Well, I mean, if it shoots faster than the bows, then it does a lot more damage.
Probably. I have to. I don't know. I'm not gonna look it up. I'm not gonna go check it out. I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
Because someone took the time to do that. Let's see. I think that's it.
That's it?
That's it.
Dudley.
How much time do we got left?
We got like 19 minutes.
19 minutes?
We gotta fill some time.
We gotta fill some time.
What are we gonna do?
I mean, there was one other thing. It was apparently a guy made a roller coaster that syncs up with Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, I saw that.
And the Roller Coaster Tycoon, one of those games.
Yeah, it looked like an older one.
Yeah, it was an older one, and it's only kind of half interests me. It wasn't that impressive, in my opinion. I was like, it looks nice. It looks like a fun roller coaster, but I didn't really see how it synced.
Did the words pop up or something?
No. Not as far as I saw. I watched it for like half of it, and I was like, what's this syncing to other than the song is playing in the background? And there's the themes in the coaster that kind of go along with.
Okay.
But that's it.
So it wasn't that impressive of a feat.
They just made a really long roller coaster.
Yeah.
Because that song is long. It's 6 minutes long.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Whatever you want to spend your time doing, I guess that's fine.
Whatever makes you happy, sure.
If that makes you happy, go for it.
Go for it. Do it.
Yeah. I don't know. What we got to spill some time. What are we going to talk about? I kind of lose since we don't do it in the studio right now. I don't have a way to see how much time we have, so usually I can kind of gauge it, and go, okay, I can spin my wheels on this a little bit. But I usually you give me, by the time I'm half through my notes, you're like, oh, we only have 10 minutes. So I'm like, oh, you give me the signal, and I'm like, well, I got to get through this stuff real quick.
I should have been giving you the stretch.
Yeah, you need to fill time. I need that signal, Daniel.
Yeah. I was gonna go play some more Hard Space.
Yeah.
And then Mountain Blade. I was literally about to play Mountain Blade 2 again, and then I saw Hitman 2 on my list. I'm like, I'm gonna check this out.
Yeah.
And I played that for a bit, and then I was gonna play Mountain Blade, and a friend of mine dropped by, and I was like, oh, and so I was talking to them, and I ended up going and having lunch, and I was just like, I didn't get back to playing.
Yeah.
So at some point, I'm going to play more of those because I think about them a lot.
Yeah.
I want to get a fiefdom, Dudley. I require a fief.
You still haven't got a fief?
I haven't got a fief.
What are you doing with your life?
I just not playing Mountain Blade. That's what it is. And that's what is required to get, at the bare minimum, to get a fief. You got to at least play Mountain Blade.
Play the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking I would play more time in The Last of Us Part 2 this weekend, but I didn't get to it. I just, and
I don't know. What I saw a little bit before we started the show, it looks like you're like almost done with it.
I think so, but I don't know. I don't know. Because the only reason I don't know, I would think, I'm close to the end. But I remember Ham was telling me, he goes, yeah, I got to a point where I thought, I'm almost to the end. And then I played till 6 in the morning. So it makes me think there's more, but I don't know. That's just going off. That's me speculating. Okay, that's nice. And Daniel just drew a face on a lemon.
I drew a face on the lemon. I think it's a lime, though.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Lemon's a lime. There's no color. So
there's no color. It could be either, Daniel.
Yeah.
You could be a lemon or a lime to you. You choose.
Yeah.
It's your choice, Daniel.
Okay.
What is it?
I don't care.
Yeah, well, you chose poorly.
It kind of looks like lemon grab.
He's happier than lemon grab.
He's a happy lemon grab.
Anyway. I think I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't know Ham had played till 6 in the morning. I would assume he was at the spot I am at, and therefore it makes me think there's more than I think there is.
Yes.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
It's good.
Okay.
There's some intense stuff going on.
Okay.
Lots of horrible, gruesome things.
Mm-hmm.
I fought a guy, and I slit his mouth.
Ah.
Right across. So, like, Joker, cuts, like, in the fight, right across.
Yeah.
And then he's up in my face at one point. I'm like, oh, that's brutal.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't die. It took a while.
Uh-huh.
It's a brutal game.
Yeah.
Not for the faint of heart.
I thought you were going to leave that there. Not for the faint.
And just trail off.
Not for the faint, and then Dudley fainted.
Yeah. It's a brutal game. It's violent, and I can understand people complaining about that for the game. It is a brutal game.
Yeah.
And when I was fighting the Rat King, there was because there's always like a death animation when you die.
Yeah.
And depending on what the situation is, and there's a bunch of different ones, and one of them, the one I fight the Rat King, that's some brutal death animation.
Yeah.
Like breaking like near neck. Oh, is one of them, and then the other one's your leg getting ripped off.
Oh!
And I was like, oh my god!
Oh.
I was like, oh. And I'm talking to him about it, and he's like, yeah, I just closed my eyes on this part. I was just like,
do you feel like you have failed the character you're playing when that happens?
Yes.
You're like, I have failed you.
I was like,
I have left you to a brutal death because I am a terrible person at this game.
And you also kind of get desensitized to it a little bit because it happens a lot. You die a lot.
Okay.
I'd like to play through it again because there is a stealth element to the game, and I'm done terribly at it. It's like every time I'm like, I'm gonna stealth my way through here,
stealth it,
and then
you're like,
one bad thing happens, and I'm like, well, this is fucked.
Yeah.
And I just start using every ammunition I got to kill everything.
Yes.
And yeah. And I'm curious if it'll change something because there's some parts where like some dialogue happens, and I'm wondering if that will shift a little bit. Based on how you did the last section.
Yeah.
So, I'm curious. It's a good game. It's a good game, and if you're fine with the violence. And the Rat King. Anyway,
anything else you want to cover before we call it a day? Call it a show.
Call it a show.
Call it a show.
Let's call it a show.
Let's call it a show.
I don't think so.
All right. Well,
I will know now not to have a milkshake before I do the show because I kind of missed my throat.
I'm kind of crashing. I'm kind of like, I was kind of napping before this, and now I'm like, I got a little sugar, and now I'm kind of like, I want to go back to napping.
Yeah, I gotta go have dinner.
Yeah, that's important.
Because I haven't eaten anything today. That's all I've had.
What?
Yeah, that milkshake is all I've had today.
That's all you had?
I had a cookie earlier. That was about it.
No wonder you're useless.
I was going to get some food before we did the show, and then I was checking on my baby and because the grandparents have her, and I checked with them, and they were like, oh, we're going to do this for dinner. And I was like, well, I guess I'll do the show and then eat. So I'm pretty hungry.
Yeah. Okay. It's good to be hungry, Dudley.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So anyway, please go to our website at dudndan.com. That's DUDNDAN.com. Or you can go to duddan, DUDDAN.com. Because I paid for it, so we might as well use it.
At least 2 years.
For at least the next year or two, however long the description.
I think you did too, didn't you?
I don't remember. So we're good for a while. And put like, comment, subscribe. Shoot us a message if you want to.
There's a possibility all our old links have broke.
Oh, really?
Because I changed over the domain in the hosting service from the old name to the new one.
Yeah.
So all those previous links may not work anymore on Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff.
Okay.
So just a heads up, if you want to watch it or listen to the old episodes, you got to go to the website
to find it.
I'm not going to update all those
200
and something posts.
That's a lot of links. Yeah. Okay. So just heads up, all the old links on the social medias probably don't work anymore.
Yeah.
But if you have a subscription, you should get it right to your phone.
None of that changes.
Yeah, none of the apps should be affected.
As far as I know.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. I'm Dan May.
And I'm Dudley May, and this has been Dan and Dan. I always hesitate a little bit because I almost say the wrong name.